777.
Well, welcome to Hull and Back podcast. It's Tiger Talk here on Humber Wave Radio and on Hull and Back podcast. Thanks very much for joining us. You with me, Adey. We've got Joe with us tonight. Evening, Joe.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back on a Wednesday.
Evening, Paul.
Good evening.
And we've got
nice
Jan.
Joe back.
And we've got Jan, who's out there in Rhodes. Evening, Jan.
Good evening, everybody.
We've got Jan's video off because the internet is not very good out there in Rhodes, so we're hoping that audio works better. And that's why you can see like a little round thing with a bit of speech coming around it every now and again for Jan. So what we've decided this week, because it's been an international break, there's not been loads to talk about. There is a little bit. There's not been loads to talk about, though. We thought what we'd do this week is we'd do our best 11 loan players that Hull City have had. And that's basically what we've decided to do this week. If you've got a best 11 loan players that you think was the best 11 that Hull City have had, obviously having a goalkeeper, left back, right back, centre backs, if you're doing a 4-4-2, midfielders, wingers, and your strikers, you can put a couple of subs in there as well if you want. Get your 11 put on whatever you're watching us on. You can WhatsApp them on 01482 772 663. That comes direct to me here. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, just comment on there and we'll see it pop up on the comments here. And we'll obviously put those up on the screen. Good to have you listening and watching wherever you are tonight. And have you got your 11 together, Joe?
Yes, I have. And I was teasing to you, Adey, that I've done something to make it more difficult, to make it harder for myself. So what I have prohibited myself doing is including players who would become permanent Hull City players. Ooh. So that prohibits me from using, not limited to, El Mohammadi, Brady, Myler, who is my favourite Hull City player ever and would definitely be in this team, George Boyd, Livermore, Henriksen, Wilkes, Slater, Alayar Sayadmanesh, Ryan Longman, Xavier Simons, Aaron Connolly, and Ryan Giles in the time I've been watching Hull City. And I think I've put something fairly decent together with that restriction.
I've not done that restriction because I thought that's hard. So I've been very, very nice to myself. And I've said, Adey, just give us an 11 because you work hard, son. You've got a lot on your plate. Don't make it too hard on yourself. Paul.
A violinist I can hear in the background.
It is a violinist. It's the world's smallest violin, on my shoulder, little one. Have you got your 11
Yeah, well, that's
together,
not
Paul?
the remit you gave me.
Oh, Jan, it's things like, internet was bad last week. You dropped out early, and this is what we said was doing late in the show. And I've tried to tell you this week over text message, and it don't work very well. So, Paul, have you got your 11 together?
You told me over text message about 20 minutes ago.
And you had been in trouble off, Jan.
20 minutes is a long time with the loan. Players.
I've probably done it in around about 3 minutes, Jan. So I'm sure you can do it in 20 minutes. So, but have you got 11, Paul?
Then.
I have. I was trying to do what Joe did, but I thought a bit like you. I can't be bothered.
So should we give credit to Paul, first of all, because we floated this idea last year, and usually it's me that comes up with the daft ideas for these specials. But this is a Paul Wright special.
It is a Paul Wright special.
If this goes badly,
then when I started it last week, I thought I'll have a look at the loan players. I was going 70 to 71, and there was none.
No, there wasn't none.
Look,
no.
this is going to be an easy 11. It's only going to be 11, but they all start later on, don't they? So yeah, it was enjoyable. I mean, there's a lot of players I could have put in that I've left out, and probably put some in that maybe I shouldn't have put in.
Evening to you, James. Just dropped in.
Evening, I only just got my link. Sorry about that.
I did message your cousin and ask him, and he did message me back.
He's been at five-a-side, he said, so I got on quite late.
Don't worry, you're here now, James. Have you got 11 loan players, James?
I have indeed.
Well done. Jan, right, what we're going to do, just to let you know, we're going to do it. So we'll all give our goalkeeper to start off with. Then we'll go on to a back four. Then we'll go on to midfield.
I won't.
Or back three. Then we'll go on to the midfield, however you're working it. And then we'll go on to the forward line. We'll all start off by giving our goalies. And seeing as you're eager, Jan, let's say what your goalkeeper is out of the loans. We're hoping.
Deadly silence.
Deadly silence. Is she there?
We're not hearing Radio Gaga.
Are you waiting for me?
Yes, Jan. What we're going to start by giving everybody's goalies first. Who would be your lone goalkeeper that was in your 11?
Tell me, I had loan players. You didn't say I had to have a team. So I'm going with Carl Darlow then.
Carl Darlow.
Yeah,
good choice.
We'll
come across to you next, James.
I struggled to make this pick. We weren't really spoiled for choice for lone keepers, but I actually picked Nathan Baxter.
Yeah, well, that's a good choice as well. Paul?
Well, I looked at a few. There was Vito Manoni. I looked at him, but I went a bit same as Jan. I went for Darlow.
And we'll come to you, Joe.
Yeah, in the time I've been watching Hull City, which is how we do these things, we always do it in the time frame we've all been watching the club. My choices were limited to Ben Amos, no chance. David Stockdale, all right. Nathan Baxter or Carl Darlow. And out of those three, the only option really is Carl Darlow.
Yep. And I've gone Carl Darlow as well. So pretty boring first pick for the keeper. It was difficult. There wasn't many to choose from. You are right. It was a hard one. And I just think, Darlow for me.
Carroll was on there. He was on loan as well at one stage, wasn't he?
Yes,
initially.
and Carroll was a good keeper. Chris is sometimes, well, he's quite regular on here. He's away this week. He sent me his 11, and he's gone Vito Manoni in goal, which again is a good choice. I like Vito Manoni. Yes,
shocking.
I thought it was all right, Vito. And also, Oliver's gone for Manoni as well. We'll just put his little bit up there for the Manoni bit, and then we'll get the rest of the team up very shortly. If you've got 11 loan players that played for Hull City that was like your favourite from a team from goalkeeper right through to striker, and you want to send us in your 11, please do. We'd love to see them. Really good to have them. Stockdale, a choice there from Becca. She's chose Stockdale as the keeper. We'll come back to some more of those in a moment. So we're going on to the defence now. And we'll come to you first, Paul.
Thanks. Well,
See,
I looked, the fullbacks was a bit iffy. Well, not iffy in players, but you know who I put in. But anyway, I went with El Mohammadi, Danny Mills, Gary Ablett, and Paul McShane. I did look at Jack Hobbs and the kid who went to Middlesbrough. I forget his name at the top at the moment, but there was me four: Danny Mills, Gary Ablett, Paul McShane, and El Mohammadi.
Okay, and yours then, James.
So, again, left back especially was really, really tough. So I might get a few pelters for this one, but I actually have got Ryan Giles at left back. I've also got Andrea Ranocchia, Paul McShane, and El Mohammadi.
Very good. Let's go with you next, Jan. I think we're going to get Jan.
Right, then, can you hear me?
Here we go. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Right. Well, can I just say my team's a la Tim Walter because you didn't tell me I had to have somebody in each position. So everybody's going gung-ho forward. So I've got, in my defence, I've got Camille Zayati.
Ooh.
I've got Robbie Brady. That's a good one. I've got, hang on a minute, let me have a look. I've got Elmer. Mine are all pretty much going forward, I think, really. Hang on, let's have another look here.
Ayala, that was the one.
Yeah, Daniel Ayala. Have I said him?
No.
Have I said
Nope.
Daniel Ayala?
So that's your 4. Are you going
Ayala.
4 or 5?
That's 4, yeah, but yeah, that's fine. They'll do.
Right, okay. We'll come to you next then, Joe.
Have I said Robbie Brady?
You
You
have.
said Robbie Brady.
Yeah, okie doke, sorry.
So, because with the rules I put on myself, I couldn't use Elmo. I couldn't use Livermore, who played centre-back for City. I couldn't use Slater, who's played at right-back. I couldn't use Giles. I was left choosing between Todd Kane and Omar El Abdellaoui as my right-backs and Ruben Vinagre and Ola Aina as my left-back options. So I've decided to go for a 3-back. And in that 3-back, I've gone for Andrea Ranocchia, because you can't not. Fikayo Tomori, because he was decent when he was here and he's gone on to have a superb career. And a player who I really liked when he was here, Deshaun Bernard.
Good choices, Joe, and a good 3
choices
that you've got there. I'll tell you mine. So I went, because Danny Mills did play right back for us at some times. So I've gone Danny Mills at right back. I obviously could have chose Elmo as well, but I thought I'll just limit myself a little bit. Daniel Ayala and Jack Hobbs were my centre backs. And I was with you, James. I had to, was really limited at left back. So I've put Ryan Giles, because Giles has just started to come on a little bit now. So we can see, and I think when he was on loan, he actually looked okay for us when he was on loan. It was when he signed for us that he maybe started to go off the rails a little bit, let's say.
His injury at Leeds, wasn't it? That was the sort of turning point.
So it's, I think Giles, obviously good left back. Hopefully he's going to be very good for us this season. And yeah, he's in my back 4 because that's the way I've done it. I've done a 4-4-2. So
I want to give a shout out quickly to Tommy Elphick, because he was close to getting in my team. The experience he brought in for the first half of the 18-19 season, helping Jordi Device especially, but Reece Burke as well, adapt to playing in the Championship week in, week out.
I'll give a shout out to one of that's already been mentioned, Kamil Zayati. He's in my subs list because he was a good defender and he was close to being in my 4, to be quite honest with you. And I was just having a toss up between 2 players, and he sort of made the subs bench. And I think it was Jack Hobbs that made my first starting 11. So, that's good. It's going well up to now. These loan players was a bit more difficult than some other ones because when you look back over the years, which is what we've all probably done to find these, we had some rubbish loans, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we just? I shot you as I was looking through, starting with Danny Graham.
Manuccio.
Manuccio.
You remember Manuccio scored a goal away at where was it playing?
Fulham.
Yes, it was. And I think, did we win that game 1-0?
I believe so.
And that was the only goal that he scored for us, wasn't it?
The Angola.
Wouldn't have been cheap neither, wasn't he, from Man U?
He was from Man U, yeah, and he was rubbish, wasn't he? You can't believe that you get a player from Man U that's that. But yeah, it was.
Well, we got one who was touted as the next brilliant thing, who could have been a Ballon d'Or winner if you listen to some people, and ran less distance at Old Trafford than Alan McGregor in Hatem Ben Arfa, who was on loan. Another player we got from Man United who was terrible on loan, Nick Powell. In the Premier League, we had Diamersi Mbakani, who scored prolifically for Norwich the season before, but turned up in black and amber, and it was like he had two bricks as feet. Dropping down.
Rebecca is right. Ibrahima Sonko, rubbish. Yes, it was awful, Rebecca. Yes.
Rattling off in the champ, we've got Marcus Maddison, Liam Walsh, Marcus Force, Harvey Vale, Demetrius Pelkas, Malcolm Eddiowi, Salaru.
Listen, don't reel all these off, Joe. Somebody may
our
have picked
team, Joe.
these in our first 11. So don't go slating all our first 11s, will you?
No one's picking Marcus Madison in their first 11, Adey. Come on, don't be ridiculous.
Well, it might be a substitute.
No comment.
He's maybe
No
not.
comment. No comment.
But no, we have had some, and we've had some rubbish, but we have had some good players. And I think at the moment we've all given good players in our teams. And we need to go on to the midfield. And I think I'm going to start with you, Joe, because it sounds like you might have 5 in midfield.
Yeah, so should we do the central midfielders and then move on to the wingers, do them separately? So then we're all
if you
together.
want.
So my central midfield consists of the 2 Liverpool loanees from the 23-24 season, Tyler Morton and Fabio Carvalho. Morton sitting deeper. John, I've just seen that in comment. Joe's done far too much research on this. It's not research, mate. Not research at all. So yeah, Morton and Carvalho are, for me, stalwarts. They should be in just about everyone's team.
Not in man.
I've gone for Alfred and Adey.
Oh, yeah, he was good. I liked him, yeah.
Came in under Marco Silva on loan.
Yeah, he did.
He was just a good, solid holding midfield player. You've got those 2 who can do the dirty work, Morton who can do all the running. Then you've got Carvalho further forward to help transition defence into attack and score.
Paul, we're coming to you for your central midfielders.
Well, I've only got 3 midfielders, you'll be glad to know. So I've got David Rocastle, Mark Noble, and Jake Livermore.
Mark Noble's on my bench.
Good choices.
Mark Noble is a great shout.
Right, let's come to you now, James.
So, because I've got a midfield 5 as well, so I'll do, like Joe said, we'll do the wingers separately. But I've gone pretty beige choices, to be honest, because they're quite obvious. But David Marler, Fabio Carvalho, and Jake Livermore.
Yeah,
good choices again. Jan, over to you.
Right, well, I'm going to add Stuart Green in there because he came on loan first from Newcastle.
Yep.
I'll go with I'm with you on David Myler, Jake Livermore. As I say, my players are all over the place, so I might have about 17 up front at this rate. But can I just stick with those 3 because then I'll have 4 up front?
You can. I'm going to sell you mine now, and I've cheated and used the code that Joe hasn't used, and I've gone for Joe's favourite player, David Marler, and also that lad that came in from Spurs and made a massive difference, came on second half away at Chelsea alongside Tom Huddleston, and they changed the game when they came on and steadied the ship for us because we was all over the place before Jake Livermore came on the pitch. So Jake Livermore and David Myler are my 2 central midfielders. That's who I've gone for. We've gone for wingers.
Warren Joyce in there as well. He was on.
Could have had Warren Joyce, and Warren Joyce was a good choice. But I was just, because he became manager and stuff like that, I thought, was it fair to use him? But Warren Joyce is a really good shout, and he did marvellous things with Hull City. Well, we're going on to wingers, aren't we? We haven't done wingers yet.
Well, I haven't got any wingers in my middle. So
well, I have got some wingers.
Okay,
before we move on, you off. I just want to give a shout out to It's Topical with some news we've had in this week just gone. Oscar Zambrano, who was good before his ban. And I'd be very, very, very surprised if come next summer he's not a Hull City player again. Permanently.
Yes.
Given that Adey has signed him for Maribor.
John Bostock is a really good one. And I remember he said about the goal against Swansea. I think he scored a really good goal against Leeds, if I remember, as well, did Bostock. So he was a good player for us as well. It's a good shout, that. We'll come back to another couple of these that are on the comments very shortly. But I think we need to get on. If we've got wingers, who's got wingers? Yeah.
Everyone.
So, no, James, Joe, you've got forwards, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, I've got 3 forwards.
3 forwards. Have you got forwards as well, Jan?
I've got 4, and before anybody says it first, I'm having Fraser Campbell.
You just stick there, Jan. We're not on to forwards yet. We'll come on to you in a minute. So, Joe, who's your wingers?
My wingers on the left, I've gone for Harry Wilson.
Yep.
And on the right, I've gone for Lazar Markovic. Again, I hamstrung myself with my rules, so that's what I've gone for.
I got 2 of my most favourite ever Hull City players, Robbie Brady on the left and George Boyd on the right. So Steve Bruce special.
Good choices. Good choices. I've gone Harry Wilson and Robbie Brady. I mean,
How
Robbie
can
was
you have
great.
Harry Wilson?
Harry Wilson was a great winger. Absolutely great
I have
winger.
never forgiven him for missing that penalty at Brentford.
I'm quite happy that he played really well for us. He scored some really good goals for us, and he made a big difference to us when he came in the team on loan for me, and that's why I picked Harry Wilson in my 11 as my wingers. That's where I've gone. Robbie Brady and Harry Wilson. We'll come to the forward lines now, and then we'll talk.
Shout out from my side for wingers, Mark Pugh.
Yes, I
Brilliant
see that. On my bench, I've got Cameron Stewart. Thought he was a good.
He was good before he got injured.
He was good before he got injured. So I've got him on my bench, Cameron Stewart, because I thought, you know what? If he hadn't got injured, he was going to be some sort of player for us. I can tell you that. So we'll come on to the forward line, and Jan's chomping at the bit. So we're going to let Jan start with Fraser Campbell. And who else have you got on your forward line, Jan?
Yeah, but you still. I'm going to say it again, though. You didn't tell me I had to have a team. You just tell me to ask me to tell you my best learned one. So I've got Liam Delap, Carvalho, Campbell, and I'm sure we all knew Dino came to us from Bradford before he came back permanently. So I'm having Dino as well.
Yeah.
So that's Jan's forward line.
About 15 now, but.
That's all right, Jan. We're letting you off because
it was all Jan, with that I'll tell you.
It was all my fault, and I'll hold my hands up in the air. I'll take responsibility. It was me. It was my fault. So, Paul, who have you got on your forward line?
My forwards are. I was going to put Dino in, but I didn't bother. Fraser Campbell, Harry Wilson, and Delap.
Good choices, James.
There's only one man for the job, isn't there, really? So I have gone with Dino. Sole striker, and I've got Liam Delap on the bench as my substitute shot as well.
Joe.
My 2 strikers are Uman Yas and Liam Delap.
Good choices. I've gone. There'll be no surprise that these have already both been mentioned, but Fraser Campbell got us promoted to the Premier League alongside, obviously, Dino. But it was his goals that came in and changed us as a team. And when we got promoted to the Premier League, our biggest loss was not being able to sign Fraser Campbell on a permanent to keep in the team. And I think he'd have made a big difference to us. So, yeah, Fraser Campbell's one of them. And then it's been said lots of times before, he did really well for us. He's now playing at the top level with Chelsea. It's Liam Delap. As my other forward. So, on the bench, I had Josh King.
Yeah,
I thought,
you
know what? He's done well in the game, and he was good with us. Josh King was one for me. So I quite liked Josh. Thought and he's gone on to do some good things in the game as well. So, Josh King was one that we had in quite early, but I thought that's a good one. Subs wise. I'll tell you, man, just to get him out of the way, I had Manoni on the bench. I had El Mohammadi, and I've mentioned the others, Zayati, Stewart, and King was on my bench. What's your bench look like, Paul?
I can't really pick a bench, but I can pick the players I didn't choose. I would go with Manoni in goal. Then I've got, Jack Hobbs, Robbie Brady, Tamori, Ola Aina, Morton, and Carvalho. A big bench.
Big bench. James, your bench.
I've only got 5 on the bench, but I had Tamori as well, David Stockdale, Matt Noble, Tyler Morton, and Liam Delap.
Good. Joe?
6, 7. That's 8. I'm just doing me counting because you didn't tell me I had to prepare a bench, but it's fortunate that I've got notes. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So my bench, I've mentioned some of them already. David Stockdale, Omar El Abdellawi, Tommy Elphick, Oscar Zambrano, John Lundstrom, this season, of course, on loan.
Yeah.
Joe Gelhart, Joel Endala, Mark Pugh, and Chuba Akpom, because I didn't have any other lone strikers.
Yeah, he's a good choice. I forgot to tell you Chris's 11. So I did tell you that he had Vito Manoni. He had Ola Aina at right back, Andre Ranocchia at centre back alongside Tamori. Left back, he chose Robbie Brady, which Robbie Brady has played left back and he's good at left back. Right wing is done Markovic. Central midfield, Livermore and Morton. Centre attacking midfield is Carvalho. And then left wing, Harry Wilson. And up front, Liam Delap. His subs are Carl Rushworth, James Chester, Ahmed El Mohammadi, Ndiaye, Mark Pugh, Umar Nias, and Marlon King. That was Chris's choices. Some good choices there. We've got lots of we've got a few people who have put comments on, so we'll go with some of these. Oliver's is all there now. We can see Manoni,
Anthony Gerrard in there, Gavin White, Jesus, Gavin White from the League One year making an appearance. Wow.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's good to see different people's views on these because obviously we all have different views and we all see different things. And it's always good. A player jumps out there in somebody's team and you think, yeah, I didn't think of that one. Lots of these have been said already. Yeah, looks like most of them have been said. It's a good team by Becca. So well done to you, Becca.
Looking at Becca's bench quickly. Shane Long, I know it seems like he was on loan, but we did pay money for him. We sold him for £12 million. So although he was only here half a season, not a loan player.
There we go.
Geddo is another one, Ollie, that hasn't been mentioned yet, but had a little purple patch when he first came in.
He did. There was a little song about him, wasn't they?
Guido, Fatty and Elmer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. What else have we got here? Giles definitely come on this season, Coxey. I agree with you there. I've seen a lot of these.
Who was on loan who I want to give a quick little mention to, because I'm not sure whether he'd have broken the rules I set for myself or not, is Gustavo Puerta. Because although we signed him permanently, he never actually played a game of football as a permanent Hull City player.
Well, he's a good choice then.
He's now, of course, gone to Racing Santander in the second Spanish tier.
We've got a thing saying that Balloumi's out again. Is that right?
Yes, so that's come about because Balloumi has put on Instagram a training picture of a little confused. I'll hold it up to the camera in case you can see it. Can you see what emoji that is? Yeah, it's a little sort of face, which is brilliant for people listening on the radio, by the way. It's a quite sad mouth of a picture of him in training. It's black and white. It's probably, hopefully, just the shot he was taking didn't go in. Hopefully, he's not injured again.
Let's hope
find out tomorrow.
Obviously, Miller is back in training, so that was good news to see this week that Miller's back in training. All of us, we've done that, haven't we? I'm just looking through the comments. Sorry, I disagree with Carvalho. I don't think he was good for us, and I agree with you, Owen. There'll be lots of people that don't agree with me. Carvalho, for me, I thought we spent too much money on him. And he scored us some goals, but I think he messed up the dynamic of the team because we had to try and include him in every game, and I don't think he should have been. So I agree there.
I get the point. In games, and Paul, James, and now Jan's back, I'd be interested to get your views on this as well, because I'm sort of on the fence. Carvalho was and is a fantastic player at Championship level. He came in halfway through the season, scored 12 goals, and effectively replaced the output we should have had from Liam Delap. But was it worth it when you consider that we ploughed all our money into that January window on an outside shot at getting promoted via the playoffs? And Carvalho and Giles were the two big investments of that window.
Yeah.
For
definitely
money.
so.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, that's the question. Was it worth it? And did he do enough? He did score enough goals, but I think he brought the dynamic of the team. And the reason that we didn't have a centre forward playing as much was because Carvalho was in the team. And I think we could have done better with a centre forward, maybe with Carvalho behind and not having to play this false nine that was sort of Rossini's. Yeah, he likes that word, doesn't he? Anyway, let's not go back. Let's not dwell on the past because that's the wrong thing to do. We've obviously got a game coming up this weekend away at Swansea City. It's a 3:00 kickoff. I'm not making the long journey. Jan is absolutely crazy because she's actually in Rhodes at the moment. She flies back on Friday. She gets back quite late on Friday, and then she's jumping on a coach to go to Swansea on Saturday. Are you nuts, Jan?
Yeah, probably. Absolutely, we are.
I like the commitment.
I know, and we've just got our tickets for Watford today as well. There's another one, yeah. But you just do it, don't you? Because it's in the blood.
It is, Jan, and you know, I
good on you, Jan. Good on you.
I was at Bristol with you, and
she was swearing a lot, wasn't she, Adey?
She was.
Jan
was swearing an awful lot that game. Let me tell you, there was not a swear word left my mouth. But Jan, God, she's got a potty mouth. She has.
You will never go. You will never go to heaven ever. And if I'm on the pearly gates, I'll be chucking you out.
Let's not repeat anything.
That's not very nice. He's a City supporter.
We've been there.
Hey, I'll tell you what. He apologised at one time.
Some people
it's amazing not having an Ofcom license on him.
It is amazing what not having an Ofcom license does, Joe. You're right. It is.
Exactly. That is what I said to him.
I was talking to my mum today on the telephone, and I said to my mum about this, and she actually said to me, "Oh, it's expensive to go watch Hull City." So I said, "It's not that dear, Mum." I said, "I pay about 20 quid a game for it." So she said, "If you buy a ticket, it must be dear." I said, "No," I said, "It's about 25 quid." So I said, "Oh, I might come and watch it with you one time." I said, "Mum," I said, "you might not like that." So yeah, my dad puts up with it, but my mum might not be as keen to sit next to me through a whole City game. I can tell you, there's lots of emotions that go through. And I did say this to her: it's a good job we don't do a podcast like an hour after the game, because I would be really struggling an hour after the game to do a podcast and to keep the Ofcom license that we've got. Put it that way. It's all good fun, isn't it? All good fun. But no, your commitment's great, Jan, and to fly back and then to go to Swansea on Saturday. Well done to you, and well done to everybody else.
6 in the morning, I think it is as well. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well done to anybody else that is going to Swansea.
I reckon there's 2 6:30s in the day.
Me neither. I thought there was only one as well. I'm sure that Lee Walker will be going as well. So
he is,
big up to you people that are going to watch Swansea. I will be listening to it on the radio with maybe a visual in front of me. No, there'll be no visuals. It's all on the radio, obviously. It's not legal to watch those 3:00 games. That's the thing.
Don't dig yourself a hole.
No, don't dig yourself a hole, lady. I'm listening on the radio.
Good lad.
So, obviously, we've had a week's break through the international break. There'll be a chance to get some players back, maybe a chance to get a bit more training into the lads. Joe, we've not spoke to you a bit on Tiger Talk for a while. So do you think that he can make them a better team than the team that played against Bristol City?
Ultimately, we will score goals and we will win games this year. That's the way I see it. But the games we will lose, and I said it having watched us for about half an hour against Istanbulspor out in Turkey. We were, even in that game, we looked so open on the counter. And I said to my dad, who was sat on my right-hand side at that game, in the stand they rapidly erected because City turned up and the pitch they wanted to use with a proper stand was, well, a mud bath because it's all and it had tractors all over it and all sorts. So they hastily put up whatever structure we were sat on. And I said to my dad, teams will hurt us this year on the counter. Look how many gaps there are and look how big those gaps are. And after 4 league games, I think, I hate to say it, but I was right. And we need to tighten up defensively. Last year, defensively, that was fantastic. The defence was what kept us in the league. Panda has to refine some of that form because he's not had as good a start to the season as he'd like. And that's probably something to do with the interest in him as well, because Sergei's admitted that players were unfocused, that not that heads were turning elsewhere because both Ivor and Charlie Hughes wanted to stay, but the players were getting distracted by all the noise about everything that was going on at the club this summer. So it's a good thing that the window's shut and we can now work with the squad we've got. One of my big issues is centre-back, because I think it was blatantly obvious that Adey and Firmino were both going to get injured at some point. And it was just like praying that both weren't out at the same time. And I said at the very start of that week before Blackburn, if they're both injured and we've lost Hughes, or we lose Hughes or Egan through suspension, illness, whatever it might be, we will really struggle at centre-half because we'll have the other one of those two and then Cahill McCarthy or Stan Ashby, neither of whom have played a championship game before. As I said this, that happened later that week. And I still think we're light at centre-half. Akin Firmino is back training. I don't think Shemi Adey is. So Owen's put it in chat. We should have kept, I think, one of Alfie Jones or Sean McLaughlin. I get we needed to free up space on the wage bill. And that money that they brought in, a combined about £3 million was massive. But I would have kept Sean McLaughlin around at the football club.
I'd have kept McLaughlin around at the football club. Yeah. I think you make some fair points. And I think when you look at the Bristol game, Pandor didn't have a good game. Hughes didn't have his best game. And I think that, they was both wondering, am I going to be a Hull City player by, the end of the transfer window? And they both ended up being Hull City players at the end of the transfer window. So I suppose, we've got to congratulate the club for keeping hold of both of those. But we are very weak at centre-back. It's a problem for us. I know people shout at me tonight and, there's no difference. It happens all the time. So I think that ultimately we probably need Coyle back in at right back to steady us up a little bit. Maybe leave Giles at left back to give us that bit of creativity going forward. But then they can maybe switch it across to a back three or get one of the centre-backs to drop in to make it centre midfielders to drop in to give us a bit more support and make it a 4 and give Ryan Giles the outlet, because our outlet wasn't there against Bristol City because they was pressing so high on us and it didn't give Giles chance to get out because we was worried about trying to keep, the strength there at the back, which, we've all seen it. Ryan Giles going forward is absolutely outstanding. Defending, it's not his best strong point. So, to me, I think we maybe need to swap Coyle into the right back position. And I'll come to you, Paul, and see what your thoughts on that are.
I'm not against Coyley coming back. It's the defence has been poor this season. It could well be all this noise that they've had on the outside. Pandos, they said that hadn't started the season well. Hughes obviously had the illness, and people have been saying he was going to go. In fact, I think at the last game we had at home, there was noises that he was already gone to Palace, but he hadn't. I mean, there've been so many rumours, and obviously agents.
There was never ever anything in Hughes to Palace. Never.
No, but I'm just saying there was all these rumours going around. Whether wherever there was rumours. Obviously, agents are filling the head with certain things. I think it did have a detrimental effect. And you're right, Joe, losing them two central defenders, which if you looked at their injury records, weren't brilliant. You would have expected to lose them at some stage. And we had five last year. I know we didn't play Bairns very often, but he was there as a fifth centre back. We haven't got that at the moment. As you say, two lads, well, one has played now, but two lads who haven't really played in the Championship, we're going to be relying on if we have the same situation again. It's not fair on them. I thought McCarthy started a bit nervously, got better as the game went on, but was it fair on him? It was under the cosh against a team which, James said the week before had played well, just lost late on in the game. So they weren't coming here on bad form where Blackburn. They'd just come here, lost a couple. They had a bad team. They're a good, steady Championship team. And you put a young lad in a major position, which is centre-back, is a big position for most teams. You want two strong players in there. I thought it was unfair on him, to be quite honest. And as I say, the lad did get better as the game went on. It's going to be a problem. I think if he's sorted anything out, he has to sort the defensive man. Even if we have a 0-0 draw on Saturday, even the Saturday after, the defence has got to get a bit of confidence because have we leaked 12 goals or something so far this
9
season?
goals so far this season we've leaked.
Yeah. I think 12 with Swansea, wasn't it? So, it's a lot of goals in 5 games to be leaking. And as Joe said earlier, our defence was, I think it was the 6th best defence last year in the league, as 7th best. I would imagine at the moment it's probably the worst, or very close to being the worst. I know Coventry hammered QPR, didn't they?
QPR are worst. They've got 11 against them, and Derby County have got 11 against them. Sheff Wednesday have got 9 against them.
To go from being 7th top to being 4th bottom, with similar defenders, what we had last year, is not very good, is it? So he needs to get them sorted out in defence. Whether the break has helped us and the fact that nobody's gone has helped us as well, that could be the catalyst. But it's a bit worrying, I think. If we let a goal in early on against Swansea, which obviously I hope we don't, the floodgates might open again, to be quite honest, because we had chances. To be fair, Joe's right, we'll score goals. I mean, their keeper's made probably the save of the game off McBurney's header. When I think it was 3-1 at the time, might have made it 3-2, a bit more tighter game, but they had chances as well. I mean, I think they hit the bar and the post or something. So it wasn't very good defensively. We need to get it sorted out. And if that means being boring for a game or two to get a bit of confidence in the defence, I don't mind that, to be honest. And Coyle's not a bad shout. If he isn't ready, well, he ain't ready. But
that's what Enshep says on the comments here, that he's not ready. I won't agree there, Enshep. I'd say that if Coyle's come off on as a sub, he's ready to play, to be quite honest with you. What's your thoughts on it, Jan?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I've said it so many times. If it wasn't for that defence last season, we would have been a League One team this season. Now they kept us up. Luton didn't keep us up on the last game. It was the results over the season, and that defence was rock solid. I think we should have kept one of them. I absolutely understand why both of them wanted to go. But, Middlesbrough have conceded 1 goal all season. So clearly, all the criticism of Alfie Jones, he can't head it. Well, we haven't been very good at clearing headers in the box this season. So, that can't just have been attributable to him. And Sean McLaughlin gave 110% every single game. It was a solid 7 out of 10. And both of them, you can count on one hand over the time they've been here, how many times they've been out injured. They just weren't. And it worries me. And I genuinely hope that over the past, how long we've had off for the international break, they haven't had a break, but he's had him in sorting out that defence. Because going forward, I absolutely agree. It looks great. But, Brucey always used to say, you build a team on a solid defence, and that defence ain't solid at the moment.
Well, yeah,
Not
you're
at the
absolutely
moment.
right. You're absolutely right. Defense wins championships, but attack wins your games. That's the old adage. That's how it goes for me.
What I don't get, Joe, and everybody, is when Alfie Jones first came to us, he was the defensive holding midfield player. And I remember Tony Pennock, who waxes lyrical about him even still. Why didn't we give him a go when instead of dropping him? Because, you know, we've got friends that are Burnley fans and they don't rate Egan. But why didn't we put him in front of the back three in like the Surrey kind of role?
It's a good question, and maybe one for another day. But we're going to come to you, James, and ask you what you think now regarding this game on, obviously, in the defence and what you would do.
So it was a point I made last week, actually, about Coyle moving, coming back into the team and solidifying the team as more of a bit of a back three when Giles is pushing up the pitch. So I definitely agree on that front. And regardless of whether he's ready or not, I mean, even if it's just for the first half of the game, just to let the team settle into it, I'm fine with that as well. If you can't manage the full 90, I mean, just looking through Swansea's results, they only seem to win games by small margins, and they've seemed to have beaten sort of the worst teams in the league this season as well. I mean, you know, they've beaten Sheffield Wednesday 2-0, they've beaten Sheffield United 1-0, drawn with Watford 1-1, and they've lost to Borough 1-0. So it sounds like it's going to be probably quite a game of fine margins, but as people have already said, I do think in every game this season, just about, we'll probably score at least a goal because we just look like such a threat going forward. And even if it takes to, you know, the 90th minute, I still think we always look an attacking threat. So if they've only been marginally winning games and they don't score many goals, I think we've easily got more than a chance of picking a point up from this game. And if not pushing on for the win, like I said, we're just hoping that it's that again, it's just that the pitfalls at the defence and whether or not we can actually, you know, keep Swansea out. And they've got plenty of attacking talent in their team, so there's no point underestimating them either, just because they don't win games by many goals.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. Owen puts instead of McCarthy at centre back, he'd put Lundstrom in there. We've also got, I think it's Cookie who's been commenting. Yes, it is. The coach didn't have any other options but to play McCarthy versus Blackburn. Coyle wasn't ready, and he's right, he wasn't. And at least he wasn't then played for the under-21s. Maybe he's benefit from the extra week's training. And regarding McLaughlin and Jones, do we know that they never looked to move on? Well, no, we don't, but 500,000 for McLaughlin. Would he have stayed and done another year? Yes, he definitely would. And would he have put his best in? He would. Speaking
on them two, actually, I've got to say, I would have preferred to have kept Jones over Macca purely just because I think Hughes, I know that he can play both sides of the central defence, but I actually think he plays a lot better on the left-hand side. Which he does play better on the position. Left, but the problem that you've got is that obviously, you know, people say we've got 3 million for Jones, we only got 500,000 for Macca. It is a fair point. And that's where the difference comes in. And yes, I agree with you. I think, and I agree with what Jan was saying, I think that Jones is a better defender than Egan. And people said last season that Jones isn't a better defender than Egan. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't get it. I really don't. Jones is a far better defender than John Egan, in my opinion. You'll all have different opinions. You'll probably shout at me. You regularly do. I'm not worried about it. My opinion is that, you know, Jones is far better than Egan. And we've seen that in the first few games of this season, to be quite honest with you. Sarah says, give Ashby a chance. I'm not bothered about. I'd like to give Ashby a chance. I just think that, you know, you've got that problem the same as when we had McCarthy in. It's a lot of pressure on a young lad to come into one of those games, and I think it's difficult when there's all that pressure on them, to be quite honest with you. It's a difficult.
If you give Stan a chance again, it's got to come in a cup competition, and that's what's so frustrating about getting knocked out in these cup competitions so early every year. Because at this stage of the season, now, if we'd have had another 2-3 Carabao Cup games under our belt, you can bleed in your players like McCarthy a little bit more. You can get minutes into Gelhardt. You can get minutes, if we were still in the Carabao Cup now, into Hadjiametovic and Giabi. And you can give players like Farrell Brown, Nathan Tinsdale, who's back from injury now, Aidan Sheehu, who's been around the first team a little bit, a new signing coming in, João Mendes, a go.
No, you can, and I mean, obviously, we've got to wait till January to the FA Cup now, which is obviously another 3 months away. So it's difficult. There's only under 21 games to put them in, and obviously, 21s just aren't the same as playing an actual league game. Are they? They're never going to be the same as that. So it's always difficult. Is that one?
Before we move on, I just want to chuck something in that we've not mentioned yet. We've talked about Coyle coming in. We haven't talked about Brandon Williams.
Yeah, and Brandon Williams, do you know, at half time
or at right back.
At half time, I was thinking, I think I maybe said it to either John or Jan against Bristol, that I would have brought Brandon Williams on because, obviously it wasn't Giles's game. It wasn't Giles's cup of tea, that game, because he was getting attacked against and he doesn't like playing that way. So I think that Brandon Williams could be one that could be worth a shout, to be quite honest with you, because I think he'd be better defensively than what Giles is. James, you was thinking about that.
Yeah, I had a lot of complaints though in the under-21s game about his fitness. So in the minutes that he has played, it seems like he's not ready to actually play start or come in as a sub in the Championship.
21s game, to be honest with you, James, you had Balumi, who was just making mincemeat of everyone and everything, which he should do. Coyle was just there for the ride. And Brandon Williams, to be honest, it didn't really look like he was bothered. It looked like when he was out on that pitch, he'd rather have been anywhere but playing for Hull City's under-21s, to be honest with you.
I don't know what warrants him coming into the team at this point in time, though.
He just knew he was there for the minutes, and that was that. He didn't really look interested. It was just about the workout for him.
Cookie thinks the same as you, James. He thinks that Williams isn't ready to start. Looked off the pace on the 21s, and to be fair, Joe, I've not watched the 21s, but if you've looked off the pace on the 21s and you're trying to get into the first team, then you've got to put more effort in.
And he's got to show that he's interested for sure. He's had his attitude problems in the past. But it's also symptomatic
with him, to be honest. I think
it's symptomatic of him being out of football for a year.
It's a gamble. It's a definite gamble, Paul. You're right in what you're saying. It is a gamble with Williams. I think that we've probably got to see him play to work out what we're going to get out of him. To be quite honest with you, and the Swansea game. Is it the right one to put him in? It could be because Swansea are up there. They're not conceding many goals. They're not scoring many goals, but they aren't conceding many goals either. It's one of them where can they'd probably be looking to beat us. They'd be thinking this is a home win for us, and we've got to try and show that defence up. Well, I hope not, because you're going a long way, Jan, and I hope
and I tell you what, we did Swansea and Cardiff last season as well, and we got home like at 4 a.m. after losing. Yeah,
no, it's not
great.
Good.
It's a song, isn't it? Isn't that a song? 4 a.m.
No, I don't know.
I'll
tell you what, I'll ring you up when we get home, Adey.
No, please don't, Jan. My phone will be on silent. I can tell you that.
Nicely in bed.
There is only one 4 o'clock in the day as well, Jan, and it's the one that's in the afternoon. It's not the one that's in the morning. I can tell you. But no, I think it's going to be a tough game, this one against Swansea. It's probably not one that I would have picked for us coming back after the international break and a loss away before that. So I'm thinking to myself, a draw would be a really good result, and if we could get a 1-1 there, or even a 0-0, as you said, Paul, shore up that defence, have a 0-0, that'd be a good result. What do you think to that, James?
I think it'll do wonders for the team's confidence to not concede a goal after the number of goals we have conceded since Coventry. And it'll probably prove to the team and the fans that we don't need to have Semi Ajayi in the team to not concede any goals, which I think is a big point that a lot of people have been making, really.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, well, I think a 0, hopefully we'll score, but definitely a 0 against. I think it will do the club a lot of good. I think, after the amount of goals they've not let in, but conceded. I mean, they were so poor at Swansea, the goals, all of them could have been cut out with some good defending, but we just didn't do it properly. And that's what he needs to sort out, I think. And a 0, as long as we've got 0, from Swansea. If we can score and pinch a goal, that's fine. If we get a 0-0, I won't be unhappy. Give the team a bit of confidence. But it's going to be a tough game. They're never easy, are the Swansea? They're a good footballing side normally, and as you said, they'll probably not expect maybe, but think it's a good chance of getting 3 points. So we've just got to go and prove them wrong. And he's had 2 weeks with them, so hopefully he has sorted out the problems.
We've got a minute left. Jan will let you have your last day.
Well, as he had 2 weeks with them, Joe, you'll know. How much time have they had off this time then?
No idea. I'll find out tomorrow.
Because that's
Joe's
what
going-
gets me. You're going to
Sorry.
the conference. Yeah, that's what always gets me at the international break. And I do know there's players away on duty, but dear me, surely to God he's had the defence in. And we'll have them all in.
Well, you would
It'd
hope
be
so.
lovely to get. I'd love a draw. I mean, I'd love a win. But if we draw, I like to draw when we've been losing, not when we've been winning, because I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll
From
see. We'll
me-
see how we do, and we'll talk about it on next week's Tiger Talk. We'll be back here 7:00 next Wednesday. The team will see who they are. It's a bit like a whole city pick. You don't know who's going to turn up to Tiger Talk next Wednesday. Thanks to you, Joe, for coming back on this week.
No worries. Final thing from me. Don't expect miracles from Ronaldinho's son. It's a PR stunt because his dad's his dad.
Probably so.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Thanks to you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks to you, Jan.
Cheers. I'll see you all. I've had one with the matchsticks in my eyes on Saturday.
I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks to you, James.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Good.